So something you might not know about me is that I am a 2-time Bible Bowl champion. And that was something that we took very seriously growing up. And every Sunday, in the evening you would go and we would take tests and you would practice. And it's basically, if you don't know, like trivia for the Bible. And my mom and I took this very seriously and we would study together in my room. And I had a loft bed growing up. Mm-hmm. And we were sitting, studying in my loft bed. And I just kept having this terrible itching sensation in my butt. And I said to my mom,
do we need to share this?
I was like,
I still don't even know what the story is about.
I was like, Mom, I don't want to keep doing this. I don't want to keep doing this. And she looked at me. You looked at me and you were like, do you want to study or go to the hospital? And I said, go to the hospital. And she thought I was just trying to get out of studying, which wouldn't have surprised me. I probably wanted to be doing Legos or something. But it turned out that I had worms in my butt, actually. Did you know that?
I don't remember it, honestly.
Anyway, that was...
Is this one of the real stories or one of your made-up stories?
It is a real
of what
story.
Happened in your childhood?
It is a real story.
Okay.
It is a real story, because I did remember that happened to me.
I do remember that happening. I didn't remember it happened exactly that way.
Mm-hmm.
But also, do you remember when you had a crick in your neck?
Oh, yeah.
And I didn't believe you?
Uh-huh.
So I would put the TV on the other side.
To see if I'd turn my head.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh. But I did, in fact, have a crick in my neck.
Yes, you did. So
I got it on the monkey bars.
I don't know why I didn't trust you.
Uh-huh.
You were a very honest kid.
Uh-huh. But, I may be wrong. Hi, everybody. My name's Caroline May Woodson, and you are listening to my podcast, I May Be Wrong. And in case you didn't hear, we have a very special guest today. It's my mom. Hi, Mom.
Hi. Thanks for having me.
Of course, anytime. So normally how this thing works is we center around some media, some quotes, and we just talk about them and how it relates to the modern world. Today I've had my mom put together a bunch of her favorite pieces of media, TV shows, books, musicals, and we're going to talk about them. And we're going to start off with my mom's favorite TV show of all time, which you probably actually haven't seen. It's called Pushing Daisies, and this came out the first season in 2007. So what's Pushing Daisies about?
It is about Ned, who is a pie maker, mm-hmm. and he has a supernatural power where he can touch somebody, bring them back to life, and then touch them again, and they die. So he works with like a detective, and it helps them solve
mysteries.
Yeah.
And there's a bit of a tragic part because he's in love.
Yes, he's in love with Chuck. And she died, and he brought her back to life. But if he touches her again, she'll die again. So
yeah.
he loves her, but he can't touch her.
Kind of sad, right?
Yeah.
It's really good. It's very whimsical. It's kind of gothic. It's fun. And I don't think they make a lot of TV like it. Mm-mm. We watched it together when I was younger because you wanted to show it to me. Mm-hmm. And I have some quotes for you from the show. Every episode starts off by saying, this is the story of a pie maker. And they go through the facts of the case, and they always say the facts were these. And in an intro, like my mom was just saying, they say, for Ned, touching meant consequences. Yeah, and then there are some fun quotes. Someone we love, Kristen Chenoweth, is in this show. And two of her best quotes are, I'm not lonely, I'm alone. And then she says, I put my heart out there and it came back shrink wrapped.
And she loves Ned, mm-hmm. but Ned loves Chuck.
Yeah, so
she's
Ned's
always
not too into her.
Feeling left out and sad. And,
yeah. Did you watch it when it went live on TV?
I did.
And it was coming out weekly?
It was, but it was very short. I mean, there were only like maybe 2 or 3 seasons, maybe. So it didn't last very long, but it was like one of my favorite all-time shows for sure.
Did Dad watch it with you?
He did. He did. Yeah. But there's a lot of good people in it because Chuck is Anna Friel, but she is in Marcella, which is a British detective mystery show who I love her. She's really good. When we were looking this up, I was wondering why I hadn't seen her in anything since Marcella, because that was like early 2000s, and she actually had a stalker
Oh my God.
who he has like a 15-year restraining order on him. So I guess that's maybe why she's stayed out of the public. But yeah, there are a lot of good people in the show. Swoozie Kurtz is in it. And Chuck has 2 aunts that raised her. And one of them, from a tragic accident, has one eye. So she always wears a patch and it always matches her outfits.
How cute.
And they were synchronized swimmers.
Adorable.
As well.
It feels kind of like Coraline, the 2 ladies who live downstairs. They're always in their little matching outfits.
Yeah.
It kind of is like Coraline in a way.
Yeah.
Whimsical, kind of spooky.
All kind of around this girl. Like they know what's going on, but Chuck does not know what's going on.
Oh,
she doesn't know that he can't touch her.
And so she's like, why is the guy who loves me not touching me?
Good show. You should watch it.
You should watch it. I think it also talks about, to fit into our themes of the more things we're going to talk about today, love being constrained by rules and all these things you have to do in order to protect the people you love and get to them. Awesome. Okay. That's like an indie TV show, I would say, because my mom is pretty indie, in case you don't know her. My high school friend group called my mom savage growing up. So that might be another adjective you want to use for Debbie Woodson. But another indie film that is one of my mom's favorite films of all time is Waitress, which a lot of you listening to this probably like theater if you're listening to us talk. And that was made into the musical later. But at first was an indie movie, which I feel like a lot of people don't talk about. For anybody who hasn't seen the musical or the movie, what is Waitress about?
Waitress about another pie maker. Apparently.
You like pie makers.
I guess so.
And you don't even really like pie.
I don't even like pie. Yeah. But, and what was, I can't remember the name of the girl that played.
Carrie Russell.
Yeah. So she is in a bad marriage and she works at a diner, makes the pies. And the diner is known for the pies. You know, they make savory pies, they make sweet pies. And she's in a terrible marriage and would like to get out of it. And then baby coming. It's about that and kind of what transpires and her dreams for how to get out of all this. And then a little bit of a crazy love affair with her OBGYN, her doctor.
Her gynecologist.
And who was married, but just growing apart from his wife. It's also a musical.
It is a musical now. And one of your favorites did the music, Sarah Bareilles, wrote all the songs. And my mom has always done a good job of taking me to New York and getting me immersed in the arts. Our first trip to New York was when I was 7 with Grammy and Grandpa, and we saw The Lion King on Broadway. We went to the American Girl doll store. I got a baby doll and I wanted to name it Snow White, but my grandmother told me that's not a practical name for a young lady. Remember? But then we went back the next year when I was 8 with your best friend, Jennifer, and Jennifer had a daughter about my age, and she came too. And you had it in your head that you wanted to get a purse.
Oh, no. Grammy wanted a purse.
Grammy wanted. I didn't know it was Grammy's fault.
It was completely, and she would have died if she knew what we had to go through. I mean, I did eventually tell her. No, a lady that she worked with got a fake Coach purse from New York. So she gave us the information where to find the people. And
wow. I thought you wanted the purse. It was Grammy.
It was Grammy. Yeah. And it was, I feel like it was, I don't remember what month we went. It was like October, November, maybe.
It was cold.
So we were going to do Christmas presents. Like Jen got her mom one. But so we go and we find where the ladies who sell the purses are. And then she's like, come with me. And the little girls were in front and Jen and I are in the back. And they walk us like a couple blocks away into a locked building. Up.
It was really skinny. I can remember.
Up like 5 or 6 flights of stairs. I mean, they could have been taking us to do anything.
They could have been kidnapping us.
Anything. And we're just all following because my mom said, you can get purses here. And so we got inside, and again, they have to unlock all these doors in order to get in. So we don't even know what we're going to find when the doors open. Luckily, we got in and there actually were walls and walls of purses.
And there was the lady who was guiding us there. Her daughter was pregnant and sitting there eating her meal. I can picture it.
And so, yes, we did get the purses. We did risk our children's lives getting them. And then the purses lasted for like 4 months.
Yep.
Because they were,
fake,
not nice and whatever. But
how much were they? Not
really expensive. I mean, if that was when you were, so you were probably like 2000, that's probably like 2005-ish. So
no, I was 5 in 2005. It would have been like 2008.
Yeah, I don't know why. I just had in my head that you were born in 1998.
Nope, I wasn't.
I know it's 1999. Yeah, so they were probably like $40 or $50.
Okay, that's a lot of trouble for a $40 or $50 purse.
Yes, it is.
Yep.
Yeah, we definitely risked
some craziness for that. But back to Waitress. So then as I got older, I obviously got into theater because I've been going to shows and I was a dancer growing up. And so we would go every year at Christmas once I was in high school.
After Christmas. Before New Year's.
Yeah, and that little break. And normally I would pick a show and Mom would pick a show. And one year when Waitress was there, of course, Mom wanted to see Waitress. It had just come out. And I picked a show called In Transit. It was the first ever a cappella musical on Broadway. We saw that one first. It was a very sweet show. I ended up having a connection to the lead girl in it, Margot, and I got to meet her at some point. But it was a sweet show. It didn't do super well, and it didn't stay on Broadway very long. It's just about a bunch of New Yorkers and their lives in transit in the city.
On a subway, because don't you remember, it would move around?
Yeah.
And some people could sit on the stage.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a very
cute.
cool set, I thought.
It was a very cool set, and it was cool, like, they did all the music themselves. There was a guy beatboxing, and the guy was bald, and he would even, like, hit his head to make noises, and you could hear it.
It was good. I liked it.
It was good. And it was very sweet, wholesome. Some couples going home for the holidays, some people falling in love. And then we went to go see Waitress, which I was excited because, this is my mom's favorite movie.
Except you didn't see the movie, like, when it came out.
No, I hadn't seen the movie.
Because you and your dad went to a movie, and I went to this on my own.
It probably would have been too heavy for me at the time.
Yeah.
But we went to go see the musical, and spoiler alert, skip about a minute ahead if you haven't seen the musical and you plan to. But how the first act ends is there's a little bit of a scene with some physicality of love going on with 3 different couples at one time. And you're seeing a little bit of
that is like the musical number.
That is the musical number, is we're seeing some action.
Yeah.
And
And I probably had not seen the movie for 5, 6, 7 years.
And that probably wasn't in the movie.
Yeah.
But anyway, I was like, wow, Mom, so you picked the dirty one.
And we got seats. I think we were
in the front row.
We were literally on the front row.
And it was kind of annoying because the lady next to us kept putting her purse up on the stage. Can you imagine touching a Broadway stage? People just,
and people are dancing, and sometimes they come and sit on the edge. And
she was putting her purse up there.
Yeah, we didn't like that.
We didn't like that. It's disrespectful. But you recently went to go see Waitress. They were doing it locally here in South Carolina.
Was Sarah Bareilles on the stage when we went to see it? Was she the one playing the music?
I don't think she
time?
was.
Okay, because she did for a while, but
she played Jenna for a while.
But yeah, I don't think we saw her.
I don't think we saw her. We saw it pretty early on, though. I don't think we did see her.
Okay.
But you saw it here with Dad.
Oh, yeah. And it was in Conway, South Carolina.
Yeah.
Deep South, And for a very small town, they do a really good job with their shows. And once again, it had been another 5, 8 years
since you've seen it. So you kind of forgot that that's how Act 1 ends.
I mean, I always remember, Carrie Russell and the pie making and whatever. Yeah. But once again, it shocked me. And next to my husband, there was an older lady sitting there by herself. And she was telling us that she gets a subscription to all the shows. And so she was sharing her M&Ms with Chris. And really, really sweet. But that very last scene before it goes did her in. And she did not return
for after
intermission.
Yep.
Yeah. And then I was like, wow.
Yep, maybe that's your favorite.
The music is good.
The music is good. Sarah Bareilles does a great job. The story's awesome. I've seen the movie now. I watched it with you after, but I think especially the musical does a good job of interweaving the different layers of the story of who's all working in the shop. That's kind of cool to see. Some hits from the show, some songs. I'm sure you've heard She Used to Be Mine. That's kind of the hit number. And the amazing lines from that song are, she's imperfect, but she tries. She's messy, but she's kind. She used to be mine, talking about the ways that you change as you get older and how motherhood can change you as a person. Also, the show starts with Opening Up, another classic. When He Sees Me is really fun and goofy. Dawn sings that. I think she's a silly character. But one of the sweet lines from What Baking Can Do is, even something broken can be beautiful once it's put back together. Very sweet.
It was very sweet. And the other thing that I forgot.
What?
Is that, you know, there's a man who comes in every day to...
The old man.
Yes. And in the movie, it was Andy Griffith.
Dad would die.
The older man.
Oh, I didn't know that.
He was very grumpy, but he did love Jenna.
Dad's also very grumpy.
And, you know, then in the end, like, he was kind of the one who pushed her to win a pie contest and get herself out. And
he was looking out for her.
Yeah.
I think that's something, like, where you guys live now, you see a lot more in South Carolina is the people in your environment, I don't know, like your peripheral people in your life becoming a bigger part. I think South Carolina does a really good sense of that, in the sense of community. Because even we were out this weekend, my grandpa's in town, and we're just sitting, hanging out at a little restaurant, and one of the bartenders from my favorite restaurant walks in, Jacob, and he just walks right up, gives my mom a hug, tells her she looks beautiful, shakes my dad's hand, comes around and hugs me. And I feel like that's kind of like Waitress. Like, that little guy just came in every day and he cared about the people who worked there. I feel like that's something that's a lot different where you live now.
Oh, well, yeah. I think people are much more involved in each other's lives in a good way.
In a good way. I mean, it can be burdensome.
Yeah. Sometimes you do have to look out the door before you walk out if you don't have time to talk.
Yeah, to make sure you don't get stuck, because who knows, it could be an hour. And sometimes you will go on a date and the waitresses at the local restaurant will know before your friends know that you went on a date. For example, my dad will tell them that I'm out on a date at the moment, and then when I sit down to come and see them the next time, they'll ask me about it.
And then they'll be talking to their customers and think they have the person figured out.
Oh,
and
yeah.
will text your father.
Text
and
my
say,
dad.
Could it have been this guy? Because then they're trying to figure out who it was that she went out with for the bad date.
Yep. Really awesome. So, but it's nice. It's not a bad thing. It's just kind of funny. Okay, well, that is Waitress. We're going to talk about another musical next that was originally a book this time, and kind of relevant because the second movie just came out. We're going to talk about Wicked. This is one of Mom's favorite books and favorite musicals. How many times do you think you've seen it?
I've probably seen the musical 3 times. I saw it probably not long after it came out with my best friend because we went on girls' trips, and we went to go see Wicked in New York. And then I took you to see it in New York.
Yeah, I remember.
I think I also saw it at the Kennedy Center. But I read the books before I even knew there was going to be a musical.
Yeah.
And I loved the books. And then, and then you liked it. Well, you knew the songs long before you ever saw it, because I would play it in the car and we would sing them, you know. We knew all the words.
There is a bit of an age warning on the show. So you had an age when you thought it would be okay for me to see it.
I did.
Yeah. But what's it about if somebody hasn't? I mean, I'm sure you've seen it in the news with Ariana Grande, but if someone hasn't seen it, what's Wicked about?
Well, I mean, it's roughly based on The Wizard of Oz.
Yeah.
And then there is the Good Witch and the Bad Witch, but it goes back to when they were children and how they met and how their lives
Intertwined.
became,
And also just, it does a lot of world building for Oz. So you get to understand more so what Dorothy was getting into.
And it also goes into the wizard and his background. And obviously it's not the original story.
Perfectly,
Because Gregory Maguire was not the original writer. He wrote the books, but he makes it more interesting. Oh, and then also the animals
are a bigger part of it.
Yeah.
And I really like the language part of it. I love a book that has a map or has its own language. That's fun.
Yeah. And the professors were the animals.
Yeah.
So it's kind of cool. Yeah. And then we've watched all the movies now.
We have watched all the movies. Last year, the first movie came out and our family friends were here for Christmas.
Well, yeah. Jen, I went
your
to
best
it
friend.
originally with.
And her daughters. And so we went to Myrtle Beach to go see it because that's where the nearest movie theater is. And we were just, hanging around because where we're from in Virginia, you get an assigned seat at the movie theater. Your ticket gives you 1, 2, 3, 4. You know exactly where you're sitting, who you're sitting next to. In South Carolina, they've not gotten that far yet. I'll tell you.
9 seats.
They're working on it, I think. Also, they don't recline here.
No.
They don't recline. But they'll get there.
We're not as bougie.
No.
That's Northern Virginia.
So we were just being girls. There's an Anthropology over there. We took our time. They were having their 50% off sale, which I'm sure you know well. Or at least we do. And we went into Barnes and Noble. We're all book lovers. We all bought books. We're just going crazy because we're like, oh, we don't need to get to the movie on time. And then we post up, and when we check in, he's like, you should probably go because there may not be 4 seats together. And I think we did get the last 4 seats together for this movie.
Yeah, 5.
Or 5, sorry. Apparently I'm not too good at math. And then this year, my mom and I went the week it came out at Thanksgiving. And we purposefully got there early. It was crazy because there was a Christmas tree lighting, whatever. But then when we got there and checked in, I was like, Mom, you go get the food. I'm going to go sit down and get us seats. And I'm rushing over. There's one guy in the theater. And I'm like running in, and he's just sitting there alone. And he told me when I came like hustling in that he had done the same. So turns out, I think the second part did well, but
I thought it was good. I thought the first part was better.
It's also because you knew the songs.
Yeah. But I still thought it was good.
Yeah. I mean, really, For Good and No Good Deed are the only 2 songs that I really know in the second one. But then like the first one has Popular and Defying Gravity and Dancing Through Life, which are all fantastic. Some classic lines, in case you don't know, from Defying Gravity are something has changed within me. I'm through with playing by the rules of someone else's game. Everyone deserves a chance to fly, of course. And then For Good, I feel like that's like the most poetic song. And that's because I knew you, I've been changed for good. Who can say if I've been changed for the better? I think what Wicked does a good job of is you don't really know who's the good and who's the bad. And it shows you that what public eye might perceive as good and bad isn't necessarily the truth.
Well, and both of them are good and bad.
Both of them are good and bad. Like there is no black and white. And I think it does a great job of talking about that and breaking down the stereotype that's in Wizard of Oz. Oh, there is good and there is evil, but a lot of times everybody's a bit of both.
Yeah. And I love that the prince didn't necessarily choose the person
he was supposed to.
Like that he would have in a Disney movie kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's one thing you brought up after we saw it, that in the books, he was with Elphaba first, right? And I don't think we get as much as that in the movie. But also our girl, Kristen Chenoweth, was in Wicked for a long time on Broadway.
She was the original.
She was the original, Glenda, and she makes an appearance in the first part, of course.
Love her.
Yeah, she's so funny. Okay, yeah, that is Wicked. We're gonna move on to a book. So we are talking about Molokai. Did I say that right that time? That's by Alan Brenner, and that came out in 2003. And what is that about?
So Molokai is a Hawaiian island where in the 1800s, people were sent if they had leprosy or Hansen's disease. And so there's a young girl who is sent there. And it's basically about her and what she encounters when she's there. She's very young. She's away from everyone that she knows and everything that she loves. And she really has to grow up and figure out.
This one's definitely not about a pie maker.
This is not about a pie maker. No.
Yeah.
Not as whimsical.
Not as whimsical, but
I love historical fiction.
It sounds like a good story. I haven't read it.
It's very good.
But I pulled some of the best quotes from it. Here are some of the ones that I liked. There are no heroes here, only people who try to survive. Then another one, even in exile, the heart finds its home. And then there's also exile. It's not a place, it's a feeling. And then lastly, even in paradise, there is sorrow. And I think it does a good job, from what I've read about it, talking about isolation, not just as a physical part of your life, like being sent to a different island, but also what it means to mentally be isolated from everybody you've known and how to cope with that.
Yeah. And how to bring people together who are all isolated.
Yeah, and bring a community.
Yeah.
And also, I guess, like making a family, which I feel like Wicked's kind of about that too. Making your own family and figuring out who your people are. But yeah, that's my mom's book rec for you if you're into historical fiction. Now, my mom has always been a big reader, and she instilled that in me from a young age. So I also wanted to talk about some books that we read while I was growing up. So I don't know if any of you on here have young children or people in your family that you could be gifting books to any kind of season, but these are some of our favorites. Probably my all-time favorite of the books we read was the Penderwick Chronicles. They were so sweet. Do you want me to give a summary of what they're about?
I do.
So the Penderwick Chronicles is about these 4 sisters. They're Rosalind, Skye, Jane, and Batty, and their widowed father, who was a botanist, Mr. Penderwick. So their mom died. And I think every book is based in the summer, and it's about their adventures that they go on every summer. And it's really just about being a little girl and what it means to grow up. And the 4 sisters are varying ages. So I think it's a great book for any child, really, because it can grow with them. Sort of how Harry Potter does that through the series. It tries to grow up with you. I think that this could be a good book for that. Or if you have multiple kids, they would all be interested because there are kids at different ages.
Yeah. And they have other friends. It's not only girls. So,
yeah, and it's a lot about little kids learning to understand the physical world around them, but also their imaginative world. Because sometimes they think like there's little stories going on that aren't really there. But it's very sweet, and I think it's a great way to bring literature into childhood. Some of the quotes from the books are, the problem with getting older is that you start to realize that you aren't the center of the universe. That's a tough one to realize.
yeah.
It kind of made me sad when you realize your parents are real people. I know that sounds horrible, but when you're a kid, like it's actually like a psychological stage in your brain. It's like when you see your teacher at the grocery store and you cannot believe that they're a real person. In your head, your parents are just your parent to you. You don't understand as a kid that your parents are out there dealing with their own lives and their own everything. So that can be a hard one.
It can be hard. Well, I mean, and the thing is, I mean, as long as your parents are alive, there's always going to be somebody who we're all about. You are our universe. I mean, we live our own lives, obviously, and we have friends and we do things, but you always have that person, you know, until
you don't.
You're my age and you maybe don't have your parents. And that's a hard realization
shift.
When you realize that person.
And these little girls had to face that so early in life.
Yeah.
They're lucky they had a dad who was all about them.
Yeah. I mean, I lost my mom when I was 45 and it could have done me in. I can't imagine if I was a little kid.
No way.
Sad.
So sad. Their motto is honor above all and the MOPS forever. And MOPS stood for Meeting of the Penderwick Sisters, which is just cute. And their dad would always say to them, love is never a mistake.
Yeah.
Sweet. And then the last quote I'll read to you is, sometimes you have to do the right thing, even if it makes you feel like your heart is breaking, which is true. Really deep stuff there for these kids.
I know.
And the other one of my favorite books that we read growing up was The Doll People.
And when I think about it now, it's a little bit creepy. It's kind of scary because you had a dollhouse in your room.
I did.
Like, were you afraid that they were like, at night?
A little bit.
Yeah.
Well, because tell them what it's about.
It's about the people in the dollhouse. And they come to life when there's nobody playing with them.
Yeah, Annabelle is like the main doll.
And then you also do know some about the families.
Yeah, it's focused
also
on the lives of the dolls in the dollhouse, but you slowly learn about the humans too, which is cool.
Yeah, well, and you also learn, okay, you have your dollhouse family, and then somebody loses a head because no kid was playing.
Or your friend comes over to play with you and brings her dolls, and now there's an extra doll that got left in the house, and who the heck is this?
Yeah, so I mean, and some of these dolls have been in the family for years and years and years. So then they'll be like, how this person came into our family was, but it's pretty cool,
cute.
but it's a little creepy when you think about
creepy.
it. Because I think if I had been a kid, I would be afraid that those people were living their lives while I was asleep.
We kind of liked creepy stuff, though.
We did like creepy stuff, which is...
My parents did tell me they were vampires while I was growing up, and I did believe them. You and Dad would both tell me that. But it also makes me think about
that.
Do you remember the Kingdom Keepers books that I loved?
I do.
I read these novels that are about these kids who like help run or influence Disneyland. They were basically influencers before influencers came out. And they would get to go to the park at night and stuff, and they go on It's a Small World, and apparently at night all the little dolls in It's a Small World come to life and they try and bite you. So it kind of reminds me of that.
Yeah.
Also, I don't know if the main doll being called Annabelle, like Annabelle in The Conjuring.
Yeah, because you and Dad just watched that. That's creepy.
Gosh, that is creepy.
Well, the other thing is that you never really were totally thrilled about people that were coming into the house. Like with
I forgot.
With the Tooth Fairy.
Oh, the Tooth Fairy could not come in my bedroom.
The pillow was not going to be
in my
room.
Your room. Which made your life easier.
So it had to be on the dining room table on another floor in the house. And then you were like, what sound will they make? How big will they be? Like, it was just like crazy.
Where I thought you were going with that is one time we had some family friends staying with us. And I had these great Mormon friends growing up, and they were very serious about their doll houses, and they showed me a cool website to get dollhouse stuff off. Or my mom, I wasn't going on websites at that age. But I had some nice, cute little things in my dollhouse. It probably wasn't that expensive, but when you're a kid, anything is expensive. And we had some family friends staying with us, and they had been in my room, I guess, while I wasn't there. And the son went into my dollhouse, and he ripped up my dollhouse Bible. That's where I thought you were going with that.
Oh, no.
When you're like, you don't like people coming in. But that was I was devastated when my dollhouse Bible was ripped up.
Yeah, I thought for sure you were going down.
Yeah, I thought Satan was coming. But those were basically our two favorite books that we read growing up. And the last thing I wanted to touch on before we close out is just music, because we're a big music family over here. In a few days, my mom and I are going to be heading to Asheville. It's my first time. Have you been?
I've never been to Asheville.
We're going to Asheville for the first time because every year since I was in college, we go to the Avett Brothers New Year's Eve concert. And it's always in North Carolina somewhere. And this year
because they're from North Carolina.
But they're one of our favorite bands of all time. And they recently had a musical, Swept Away, that was put into production at Berkeley Repertory Theater, where I used to work. And it was in DC last year. And so I went and I saw that, and it's all their music, but it's made into a musical.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet. I need to see it.
It's pretty good. It's about all these guys who are on a sailboat, and these two brothers end up on the journey, and their sailboat gets stranded. And it's about the story of what happens when their boat gets stranded. But we like the Avett Brothers. They're a big family band. Kind of country, kind of rock.
Folk. I would say like kind of folky.
Kind of folky. They sound way different in person.
Yeah, they're very talented.
They're so talented. It's more rocky in person, I would say, than when you listen to it on the radio. It's still good on the radio. It's just very different.
It does sound different.
Do you have a favorite song?
Too many.
Too many.
I mean, I
thought your favorite was Head Full of Doubt.
I do love that.
You also like the one about drinking too much.
Yeah, what song is that though?
When I Drank.
Yes, I do like that song.
But some of the lines that I think are the most beautiful from Head Full of Doubt are, and there was a kid with a head full of doubt, so I'll scream till I die, and the last of those bad thoughts are finally out. There's a darkness upon you that's flooded in light, and in the fine print, they tell you what's wrong and what's right, and it flies by day and it flies by night, and I'm frightened by those who don't see it.
Yeah, I mean, their music is just so much fun to sing along to.
It is.
There's some slow songs, but there's a lot of dance songs. So Caroline and I always say that it's just, you feel like you have gone through it.
You do.
The show, because like you might be crying.
We both cry.
Then you're singing, and of course you're hoarse when you leave, but you feel like you have gone through like every emotion that you could possibly go through. Because a lot of their songs also, just all of them, you can relate it to your life.
And different stages of your life. And sometimes I'll listen to songs and it will make me think about one person in my life. And then I'll hear it again and it'll make me think about somebody else.
Yeah.
They do, like Ben Folds, who I've talked about on here before, they do a really good job of storytelling in a song. Like I think about Long Story Short, where they talk about all those different people. Kids can't be left to raise themselves, is how it ends. I think they do a good job of telling a story within a song, because a lot of modern songs are just catchy to be catchy, but they actually are storytellers.
They are really good storytellers.
Really good.
I could live without the puppet storytelling, but
They did bring
than
puppets
that,
last year, and my mom was not into it.
I am a very dedicated fan.
I think it's because they're releasing a childhood show, like a show with their
puppets.
music. I might be making that up though.
Yeah.
I may be wrong, like we always say. So do you want to share with the class what your Spotify listening age was this year?
Yes, I do. It was 23,
And
which is younger than Caroline's was. Because weren't you like 25?
I was 25, which I was 25 this year. So
Yeah.
that worked out great.
makes sense.
I was true to my age.
But apparently,
mom is young.
Apparently, I'm like a little immature in my music taste.
You're just hip. You're hipper than me.
I don't know how hip I am, but
Mom does
could
love
be like-
Taylor Swift.
I do. I could be a Swiftie as a 55-year-old woman.
She is a
yes,
Swiftie.
I could.
Actually.
Yeah,
You didn't go see her in tour.
I did not.
Not this year.
Not since Caroline was in middle school.
When I was in middle school, my mom did take me to the Red tour.
and it might have been more for me than for you.
We had fun though.
We did have fun,
We were in the very last row at the Verizon Center.
which is high.
High up there and like a straight up.
And my best friend was with us, and she's afraid of heights.
So
So
that was tough.
she had a hard time. And
I can remember I wore like a blue top and a denim jacket and a bedazzled headband.
oh, heck yeah. And Casey had I think she had like I don't know, one of those, it wouldn't have been the SAT because you guys were too young.
Might have been a PSAT, like the one you take when you're 13 or 14.
Or just
SOL.
it was an SOL. She had an SOL, and I had parked in the bottom of the building, like where the show was, like an idiot. And it took us like
3
3
hours
hours to get home. It was awful. I felt so bad for her. And she, like you, was a good student and very cared about her grades and everything. And she was upset, but
it worked out. We had fun. And Ed Sheeran opened. And it was just him and his guitar.
And he was new.
It was just him and his guitar on this massive stage, which
It was so good.
And he would do the beat on his guitar, and then he had the rhythm thing that would keep repeating it, and then he would just do it all himself. And you and Jen were super into it. Casey and I were like, "Who is this guy?" And he turned out to be Ed Sheeran.
Yeah,
but you knew, you saw.
Well,
him.
and I don't even like a big concert venue. I prefer a small concert venue, but I think she did a good job of making you feel like you're in it, you know?
She's a good performer. She's a really good performer. We also recently just went to Charleston and got back, and we saw Charles Wesley Godwin. My mom had looked, knowing that we were going, and tickets were like $3,000 each. And the day of, I was like, what if we just look? And they were $80 a person.
And that happened.
So
And he's really good in
He's
concert.
really good.
I've seen him a few times.
And
so.
did he start because of the Avett Brothers?
He did start because of the Avett Brothers. I mean, that's a story I read online.
We may be wrong,
Yeah.
but he wanted to be a football player, but he realized that wasn't going to work.
He played at West Virginia.
Yep. Go Wolves.
And
Wolverines.
he,
Wolves.
I guess, realized he wasn't going to go pro. I'm just improvising.
That's what we
his
do
life.
here.
Yeah. But I think that's when he started playing and everything.
And he loved the Avett Brothers. He was like, I could do that for the rest of my life.
And he's amazing. Yeah. But we saw him at the Ryman in Nashville the very first time we saw him, which was amazing.
I wasn't there for that. So this was my first time this last week seeing him.
And then we saw him in Charleston at the Charleston Music Hall, which is a different venue. Then we saw him in Charleston again at an outdoor venue.
So you've seen him a few times.
And then we saw him at the Riviera, and we didn't realize it was just him and one of his band members playing acoustic.
It was so sweet, and he talked a lot.
Yeah, he's a very humble guy, and that was good. That was like a nice little surprise.
It was, and we hadn't even planned that as part of our trip, and it was probably my favorite part.
Yeah, and that's not the first time that we've just decided to we'll go
into
and
a
get
concert.
some music.
We did that in DC, and we ended up seeing the Mowgli's, which we were really excited for.
I was excited about the Mowgli's, but in person, but the two other bands.
Oh my gosh, Kid Brother.
Did they open up for the Mowgli's?
Yeah.
Or
Kid Brother and, The song plays in your car all the time.
Arms Akimbo.
Arms Akimbo open.
So good.
We loved them. It was so much fun. We were dancing and it was just a concert and we just decided to go that day.
And I still listen to those two bands. I don't listen to the Mowgli's anymore, but I do listen to Arms Akimbo.
I do too.
I feel like the other one's not as
The other
widely.
one's not on Spotify anymore. They took it down. We are a very big concert family. We'll just go to any concert. I feel like we grew up near Wolf Trap and I ended up working there, and that's an outdoor concert venue that's also a national park. I've talked about that before on here, but I didn't realize.
It's a great place to see shows.
Oh my gosh, it's so nice. But I didn't realize that other people don't do that. Like some people don't just go to concerts.
Well, yeah, and we just, every summer, we definitely went.
Oh, as much as we could.
Yeah, Dolly Parton there. You didn't go to that, but I went with my best friend and her mom. I mean, haunting. Her voice is just haunting there. And then they have an indoor
the barn.
venue. The barn.
We saw Sutton Foster there.
We saw Sutton Foster, yep. And I also saw Boy George there.
Oh, did you?
Who I loved when I was probably in middle school. And I was shocked by how talented he is. I mean, I liked him when I was in middle school, but I didn't realize, like, he really is very talented. He was with Cyndi Lauper, and I thought he blew it. I mean, he was awesome. He was amazing.
Sweet. And you would come and visit me when I was working at Wolf Trap, and I would get you snacks and drinks.
I know. It was nice.
It was nice.
And a lot of people would come visit you.
A lot of people. And Alex, my friend, and I both worked there. And on our breaks, we would go and we would split the ice cream cookie sandwich that came out that summer. It was 2 big warm cookies with ice cream in the middle. It was a pretty good first job.
Yeah.
It was a pretty good first job. But yeah, you guys have to go a little bit further now for concerts. They're not as close.
No, they're not. We have to go to Charleston. We have live music.
You do have live music all the time.
But not a concert.
Yeah.
We have good live music, but.
And we did see The Head and the Heart at Wolf Trap.
We did.
And that is one of my mom's all-time favorite bands. Do you have a favorite song?
Rivers and Roads.
Rivers and Roads is tough because you started really loving that song. When I graduated college, all this crazy stuff happened. I ended up studying in Oxford, so I left the country. Then I got a job in California, and my parents just assumed I was never, ever coming back. So my parents left Virginia.
I never thought you would live in Virginia.
I never wanted to.
Yeah.
I didn't think that would happen either. And so they moved to South Carolina. And so then all of a sudden, my life, everybody's just everywhere. Like my parents are in a new state. I'm across the globe or across the country in California. Rivers and Roads used to make me cry awfully hard at that time. I used to call that the most turbulent year of my life. I was doing a lot of going everywhere.
You were.
But that's a great song.
Yeah, well, and you had just left college and all your best
all my friends were staying in Richmond too.
But I took you and Dad to that concert, and both of you, like Dad, he'll go to any concert with me, but I didn't think he would like them, but he really enjoyed it. And you the same way, because at first you were like, ooh. Yeah, you weren't super
At first
impressed.
I wasn't super into it. Like I just didn't understand the vibe, I guess. But then once I found out the girl was from Richmond, I was like, oh, she's one of us.
She's like, oh, yeah.
Now I get it.
Yeah.
We had some funny people next to us, though. The whole concert, she was like conducting with her hands. Do you remember that? But they have a good musicality. They have sweet songs. I'd say it's more folksy.
I do like the Shut Up song, too.
Shut Up, if you're wondering, goes, what if we all shut up for a minute? What if we took some time to breathe? Think about the words inside before you say them. Just want to know what you need.
Don't you think that's good?
That is good. I feel like that'd be good.
That's a good life lesson.
Sometimes you just need to shut up.
To be quiet.
And you could just play that song to get the point across to somebody. So if you're ever on a road trip and you don't know how to get the point across that you need some quiet time, maybe just put some Head in the Heart on.
Smart.
I mean, come on.
If you listen.
Yeah, but the problem is that person might not be listening.
It's true.
But I think you can't go wrong with a concert. Taking somebody to a concert, I think that's so much more fun than spending a bunch of money on an expensive dinner. Or even just you and Dad will get concerts as gifts for each other. I think that kind of experience is so nice. And just being around live music.
Yeah, it's the best.
It is the best. But I may be wrong. My name is Caroline Mae Woodson. You've been listening to I May Be Wrong, but with my very special mommy on the podcast. Thanks for listening. And if you tune in, we're going to also drop one with my dad. So if you want to know my dad's Spotify music listening age, you're going to be shocked. He'll be on here sometime soon. Okay.
Bye.
Bye.